Welcome to Huge Quickly Podcast. I'm Danny, sitting here with Andy Kindler. How's it going?
I'm eating fresh fruit.
Fresh?
Yeah, well, it's the only kind of fruit I eat because, first of all, I'm loaded and rolling in loaded dough. I've got money up to the gills.
So you used to eat the old fruit.
Well, when I was a kid, we used to eat canned fruit because my parents didn't care about me. They said, "Look, you're on your own." At about 7 months old, and actually, I was raised in the 50s. Oh no, I'm sorry. Make that the 70s. Make that the 80s. Make that I'm a millennial. And I was born in the 50s, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And it was the era of processed foods. Everyone loved processed foods. They couldn't get enough of them, so everything was canned then. Yeah, everything. Yeah, like you want a tuna fish sandwich, you had a can of tuna fish sandwich.
Yeah, get the canned bread out.
Awful.
Yeah, that was like, you're talking 50s Cold War. Like everyone's like stocking up for the future.
Well,
right?
I lived in a bomb shelter from 1967 until. Well, now I live in a panic room, and I also I'm a member of a survivalist.
How did you find out in the shelter that the bomb hadn't gone off? Or did you just risk it?
I'm not at liberty to. I am not at liberty. I am not at liberty to. This is my new.
Off the air.
Why do I feel like we're doing an NPR show? Because it's a quiet. It's a quiet lobby.
It's a lovely little lobby, and there's a great salsa dance competition going on next door.
That's very exciting. I saw a lady, and I'm not somebody who looks at every single woman too long until I'm ejected.
You and me both.
She was. I don't want to say hot, because I don't like to reference Buster Poindexter songs. Now listen, the thing that's so great about this is the ambient noise. We're right next to a.
That was a backhoe.
What was it?
They're working. Yeah, they're working on its construction.
No, I thought it was an espresso machine.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, make it more. The people at home don't know what it is. That's the magic of podcasting.
Yeah, we can anywhere.
I suggested you add a lot of sound effects and wacky ones.
I actually have a beach track going right now.
So your podcast is a sound soother. But the bottom line of this whole opening Jenga, this whole opening dance that we're doing is I'm done with canned fruit. Now I will enjoy a nice fruit compote.
Sure.
Which is sliced seasonal fresh fruit and a light, very light sugar-based syrup.
Right.
I've been doing that, not a joke, but I've been saying that for about 40 years. I just love the idea. I'll have I'll have half a grapefruit. I will have, you have fruit compote. I'd like to.
Lovely.
Slice seasonal fresh fruit and the light sugar-based.
One time, speaking of grapefruit, I accidentally dusted it with a little salt instead of sugar.
Oh my God. That must have driven you so far down.
I've never touched a grapefruit since.
There's no way that can work on a grapefruit.
Despite the health benefits, I haven't gone back. So that just goes to show you sometimes mistakes can have lasting effects.
Sometimes something negative, when it's all said and done, is even more depressing.
Exactly.
I meant to say, turns around as a positive.
Yeah. Well, like, what if I had discovered why it works?
What?
It's the salt on a grapefruit. Wow. Who knew? It actually works.
Right. It's a very popular in candy shops. Sea salt grapefruit. The reason why you made the best decision you could have possibly made in your life is because now there are so many prescription medication that you take that says do not take after having grapefruit.
Yeah.
Because it limits the effectiveness. You never have to worry about that anymore. Mm-mm. All you have to worry about is if you take MAO inhibitors. Do you? It's a very personal question.
I wish you wouldn't have asked me that.
I'm sorry I asked you because I think it actually is for serious conditions. And once again, I've insulted another podcast host.
Just add it to the list.
Of Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla and Adam Carolla.
It's funny. I am kind of a closet Adam Carolla listener, but now I feel like maybe I'm like playing for the wrong team. And maybe I need to see the error of my ways.
Well, there can't be any Mexicans on your team or blacks. If you're willing to have...
I know.
I heard today that somebody is having... In Colorado, a restaurant is having White Appreciation Day. It doesn't sound right, does it?
It does not sound right. I came from a pretty small town, but now I've lived in Portland here for quite a few years, and I've learned a little bit of political correctness over the years.
I thought you were going to say that you learned to
embrace people of other colors. Yeah, that's crazy. People,
What small town was it?
It's called Ellensburg, Washington.
Oh, that's not far from here, right?
No, it's about 3.5 hours.
Wow, so you're coming from a small town in a liberal area.
Yeah.
So you're saying that how many people were from your town?
It's probably 20,000, but there's also a college there, so you got to have a little bit of the liberal side of things.
Yeah. But
still, I had no idea. Ellensburg is not that bad. It's not like it's some really racist place, but
you
realize after leaving there just how different things really are. It's just something like a gay couple walking down the street. I wouldn't even think twice about it, but it seems like most people I know, they're like, it would at least be a thing. Like, it's not like they have a problem with it. They're just like, it's kind of weird.
And that's an issue that's changed very dramatically just recently. Yeah. Where people it's surprising how you can make predictions about what's going to happen with somebody, with a movement, or with, 50 years ago, you couldn't even probably say you were gay, and most people would be afraid to say it.
Yeah. It's still very recent, right? I mean, they still say,
Don't Ask,
like
Don't
athletes.
Tell was in the 90s.
Yeah. And when you think about professional sports, it's like, there's like one out gay guy. It's like, I don't know what. I'm not that great at math, but the statistics would tell you there's probably a couple more.
That is exactly one, and I thought I could do something funny about how many people there are in the National Football League. I think that my major growth as a comedian has been the ability to just stop a joke I can tell is not going to go anywhere.
Really?
In the old days, I would, if I'm just doing something new that wasn't working, I would hit it harder. I started sweating profusely. I would insult the audience. I'd leave the stage. I would walk around bitterly. But now, I know. You know what? I got nothing, folks.
As of when?
People
when did
respect
that change?
it. I might have just decided it recently.
Yeah. Where was that for you? Where were you like?
That was a terrible answer. It sounded very vague. Because again, I was focusing on the fresh. You should call this.
No,
huge, quickly. Well, Andy eats a lovely. Sliced fresh fruit.
Really, it should be called Huge Lovely, and it's huge, lovely, plump fruit.
I like it
because everyone loves that. I bought some strawberries last night.
What'd you do?
I bought some strawberries, which I felt good about.
That's a big move for you because I heard you had a fear of that.
I absolutely do because I was a kid.
Bad experience.
Who was like, "Ooh, that one, it's sort of mushy," or it's they had to be like perfect.
Because you weren't raised by the great Santini.
Absolutely not.
You had it easy.
I had it so
over
easy.
in Ellensburg. I mean, all you did was logged. You logged up. What did you do? What did they do in Ellensburg?
Lots of hay, raising.
Oh, was a lot of farming?
Growing.
What? And they raise hay?
Yeah.
Is that what they do on Saturday night?
It's like a baby for them. Yeah.
I don't know. How do you get hay? Finally, someone can answer this question for me. Where does hay come from?
It comes from Ellensburg, Washington. That's a bastion of prime hay. It's true. Does
it grow in bales?
They process it first. I almost worked on a farm, but because I almost did, that means I didn't, and so I don't know all.
Is it straw based?
It's straw.
Where does straw come from?
Straw is a product of strawberries.
I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah, it's after they make the strawberry compote. What you're left with is the straw.
Is it like a bush? Is it a tree? Is it a hay tree?
It might. I don't know if it's technically a tree, but it's
definitely. Grow pretty tall?
It gets pretty tall. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they say knee high by the 4th of July. That means you're having a good year.
I got to tell you something. There must be nothing like fresh hay
for your allergies.
No. Oh, is that what causes allergies? Then why are we not destroying it?
Why do you think I left Ellensburg?
You have bad allergies?
I did.
And did you take any of the various over-the-counter
Well,
remedies?
It's funny that you bring that up.
Okay.
We are sponsored by Allegra. No, I'm kidding.
Are you really? That'd be great.
That would be great.
I'd be demanding pay.
It's funny. It sounds like I'm kind of wary a lot of times of taking anything, but to be honest with you, one of them, you just pop one and I was fine. You just take one for the day and I had no problems. But if I didn't, I'd be like, my eyes would go crazy. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So do you take it still now?
No, I don't.
Oh, because you're not around the hay.
Not around the hay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So this place is sort of, they raise this particular kind of hay that these Japanese horse owners buy. And it's very high-end hay for horse races.
So does that mean it's a wealthy town? Are there fights over proprietary fights over hay?
Sure. You can Google it.
Is there a company that sells hay that's called Hey? First one's being H-E-Y.
12 hays. Yeah.
And then the second word is H-A-Y. Hey.
It's limiting because you have to write it on a piece of paper all the time in those little slots. I don't think they have enough room for that.
What little slots?
You know, like you got a little room for business name. You don't have 3 lines for that.
I'm talking about a commercial product.
Oh.
That's where you take the hay that you currently... You know how much better a price you get for the hay if it came in another wrapping?
Mm-hmm. I think you have a lot of ideas. You should maybe take a trip up there. I could show you. I could get you in contact with some people.
Well, the other thing is that do they sell... You know how they sell like strawberries, like roadside stands?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have any hay roadside stands?
It's not anything they've come up with yet.
See, this is the kind of thing that I do. I innovate. I'm entrepreneurial.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing, I'm working with several, who are the people who have big money? Hedge companies? Capital firms?
Yeah.
Capital venture. I'm a venture capitalist.
Angel capital.
Yeah, I'm a venture capitalist.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. And you're also...
I'm also a positive thinker, so my thing is, if you say what you are, you are.
Right.
You are that person. I am as popular as Jerry Seinfeld.
You're also a mortician. Mort.
Yes, I play Mort the Mortician on the hit animated series Bob's Burgers.
How did that... You already had a working relationship with all those guys, right?
With most of those people, many of those people. The only way I am, almost always, when I am cast in something, it is not because... You know how you hear about, like, these big shows and they were... I went back 15 times for callbacks and I had to drive my car into the mountains and film something.
Yeah.
With me, it's only because they've written the part for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was intended for me, and still, I usually don't get it. So this was the pedigree of this show. When I say the word pedigree, please know that I have no idea what it means. But the pedigree from this show, this is a Jewish person's dream right now.
Is it?
A stereotypical Jewish person's dream.
You're listening to The Counting of Money.
That's right. Now that just shows that you're an anti-Semite. How do you know I was thinking of that? You said that awfully quick. Man from Ellensburg, who was bummed out because things are all politically correct now.
I fell into that one, didn't I?
I did. You did, but you were absolutely right. That's the sound. The sound of the drawer being counted out is like catnip for me.
So, like, people fall asleep to soundscapes and stuff?
No, I don't fall asleep. I get extremely, extremely thrilled and excited about it. Almost.
Almost too messy.
I just saw that I saw that there were young people in the lobby. But
so you quieted.
I'm not going blue.
Okay. That
by young to me, a young person is 40.
Yeah. I just turned 30, so that's good. It makes me feel better.
You know what? Please don't tell a person my age ever that you turn 30 and expect them to go, wow. Oh, it's all downhill from here. 30 is the new 4.
I'm so excited for school soon.
Have you ever said to yourself, oh, I bet this is what you said, because I said the same thing I was 30. Oh, man, I'm old now. Don't think that way.
That's hurtful. I never said that.
No, but you're deep inside. You're worried. You thought, everyone thinks by the time I'm 21, I'll be as big as the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I'm 23, I'll be Elon Musk, and I will have invented the Tesla. But that's not the way it works. I didn't even start stand-up comedy until I was 28.
Really?
As is commonly known on the internet when people search my name.
Commonly.
So what I'm saying to you, young man, is you have your whole life ahead of you, barring any unforeseen circumstance.
Keep in mind, though.
Keep in mind something terrible can happen.
Yeah, at any moment.
It's not. Age is just a number. People who are old say.
Sure. And I found myself saying recently.
Oh, you have been saying that?
I did say it. And then I went, wow, I can't start saying that. But it is true.
It is true. There's nothing you can do about it in many ways.
No
what
way.
I do is I say, I'm going to write this idea down.
I'm going to make sure you don't spill your fresh fruit. That would be a disaster.
Ages. I was like, I take time out from whatever I'm doing to write down ideas.
That's how you make it, guys. When
Right.
you have an idea, you write it down.
That is actually the only legitimate advice I've ever given comedians. Normally, young comedians will come up to me and they will say, they call me Yoda. I don't know why.
It's not a looks thing. Couldn't be.
Is that a good character for Star Trek?
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars.
That could be the joke right there.
Star Trek. That's it. See, I can't even see the joke. That's when you know it's time to retire. But a lot of young kids come up to me, young comics, they're green behind the ears because they haven't showered. Thank you. And they say, Andy, what advice would you give me? And what I normally say to them is I tell them, I think you should get out of the business. This isn't for you. Because what do I need them 10 years from now breathing down my neck?
Yeah, just nipping at your heels.
Yeah, I already am not as popular as I'd like to be. But I want to create a person working on it. So I try to discourage them.
Sure.
But if they won't be discouraged, I tell them to write down every idea.
Mm-hmm.
That is really... You know how they say something is 35% perspiration?
You got to finish it now. What?
Well, side note, it's creativity is 4% inspiration, 96% perspiration.
Right.
But recently, scientists are looking into the fact that all of these sayings, they're all fake. No one ever said them, and they don't apply. Like a stitch in time saves 9. Would that work the first day they had fabric?
It's true.
You know what it means, stitch in time saves 9? I just recently.
I don't.
It means if you sew up your socks when a stitch in time, just in time, I sewed up that sock that was getting a hole in it,
mm-hmm.
and that a stitch in time saves 9. Means that you only have to do 1 stitch instead of 9 stitches when it pulls apart.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's like writing it down is like that stitch in time.
That's true. Or it's like a hayride.
Those are lovely.
Most of the time, no one's fastened in correctly, and they get thrown onto the asphalt and they die. But 2 people fall in love, and it's very romantic. Did you ever go on a hayride?
No.
You're from the hay capital of the world?
Well, it all gets exported. You know.
Are you saying there's no sample hay lying around? Are you saying the hay, we're not using our hay grown here domestically?
Absolutely.
Is that because we have too much hay?
Mm-hmm. And it's so valuable. We don't have money for it.
What I would do, even though I'm still eating fresh fruit,
I'm salivating.
I would take the part of this podcast that talks about hay, and I would spin that off. Spin that off into a hay-oriented show.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so much better. I thought you were going to say cut it right out.
Mm-mm.
No, you're saying the opposite.
Mm-mm.
More of it.
I love bits that go nowhere. That's my specialty.
Where I wanted to ask you, you're talking about your start. You're talking about your times there when you're 28.
Oh, I never finished that. Bob's Burgers comes from Dr. Katz. Dr. Katz was about Dr. Katz and was created by Jonathan Katz. And then there was the show Home Movies that Brendan Small was in. But Lauren Bouchard, who is the co-creator of Bob's Burgers, he goes back all the way to Dr. Katz. So that's kind of like how I got called up on this is through Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
And Holly Schlesinger.
And it is Lauren, not Lauren. Like
it's Loren, Lauren.
Okay.
I told him to change it to Lauren because I said there's a lot of Lauren Green fans out there, and they might think you're Lauren Green. He wouldn't listen to me.
Wouldn't listen.
The kids today don't listen to me because I'm incoherent.
At least you have a sense of
Like
humor.
That's my fault.
It's not, right?
Sense of humor. I'm bitter about it.
Well, I wish I could help you.
No,
but
I'm just joking. I'm very happy. I'm a very popular comedian. I can sell out a stadium. If I did 1 gig a year and just kept selling tickets to that one, and it was a small stadium, maybe more like a tennis court, I could sell out a big venue.
There you go.
I've played many empty theaters in my career.
Really? Just trying to get those laughs out of the 4 people there?
Well, I tried the joke on stage, but it didn't work. But that you can't go by that. I have said that when I perform in a theater, it's just like Siskel and Ebert. The balcony is closed. A lot of people... Now, do you get the reference that they used to say at the end of their show? The balcony is closed.
I've never heard that.
No, but you laughed anyway because of my incredible delivery.
That's what I mean.
I could read a phone book that had funny names in it and get laughs.
There is something funny about your delivery, I'll say it. Yeah, I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard it.
Well, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish, and I've got it, baby. I can't get rid of it.
I've got it, baby.
America's got rhythm.
Do you find that voice acting for stuff like Bob's Burgers is pretty easy for you to do, or is that kind of tough sitting in a booth?
Everything comes easy for me because as a small child, I was told I was a genius after a test administered by my father with his own
methods.
His own methods, exactly. He used his own criteria. What were we talking about? Oh no, voice acting. I really enjoy voice acting. I love all kinds of any kind of acting. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to play a Nazi propaganda film, but I'm saying I like to be hired and act. When I do things like Bob's Burgers and Dr. Katz and things where I'm hired to do me basically, I really do enjoy it. It's so much fun. But for like 3 years I went out on voiceover auditions, which was like. Now it's like you stay home and you just put it on your own machine, whatever you call it,
sure.
And then you upload it.
Yeah.
But back then I would go in and I never got anything. I wanted to go in because I like to be able to do the acting and then have feedback on it. But it is like a cattle call voiceover acting for commercials.
Yeah. Wait, so did I catch? So when you do, you're not going into a studio to do more?
No, I go in the studio to do more.
Okay.
I'm saying that people who are voiceover actors for a living, they do auditions from their house.
I got you.
But they never would do a session from the house.
Yeah.
Unless they're rich.
That was a silly question.
No.
If you
don't know something, you don't know something. It's not an intelligence thing. It's just like you can't keep every fact in your head. I
can't. Especially now with Google, no one has facts in their heads anymore, right?
Well,
you're so used to the fact that you have it in your pocket.
It really is a bad sign. For example, and of course you said it was a silly question. I went to write to. There's nothing wrong with your intelligence, so I don't know what my veiled message is.
I got it.
Yeah, you heard it. But Google Maps. I got lost here in Portland yesterday, and I got lost going to a sound check for the show Baked, and I just thought there was something wrong with the GPS in general in the city because of Obama being here, and everything was like I walked in circles for an hour,
Thanks,
solid
Obama.
hour. Thanks, Obama. Exactly.
Well, I've totally done that before, and
on Google Maps.
Yeah, and it's a little bit embarrassing, especially if you should know where you're going. You live in a place.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like I'll plug it in to get the fastest route. And then I'm realizing, oh wow, it's totally sending me in the wrong direction or whatever.
Well, the thing is that this is the thing where you were talking about having it changes how you do things.
Sure.
Because if I had just looked at the map and said, here's where I'm going, actually it's tricky in Portland because there's all kinds of weird streets and they curl around and there's a grid on top of it. Yeah. If I had looked at that, I would have been able to know, here's where I'm going and here's how I'm traveling. But instead they put the dotted line for you.
Yeah.
It's like they take all the guesswork out of it. But sometimes if you're confused, you need your own brain. They don't fly planes by automatic pilot. I can't be Andy Kindler by automatic pilot. Although many people after a show will ask me, are you on automatic pilot?
You seem like you're on a cruise control.
Well, no, I think it's more like I sound like I'm on something.
Well, they're looking out for you.
Well, I'm thinking about. I've heard a lot of great things about cocaine, so I'm thinking if I can get it. My thing is, like a Jewish stereotype, can I get a good price on it?
I've heard it's expensive.
I heard the price is down now.
Okay. Are you trying to push something on me right now?
I'm just saying, look, this conversation never happened. Thank God it's only on a podcast. Get it?
Get it, guys.
That made me cough.
You don't matter.
Let's just say, if you buy like several kilos, I can get you a price break.
You want to know something, Andy?
Are you into that?
I know how to fly a Cessna. We could start a little in-out thing. Import-export.
How'd you learn how to fly a Cessna?
I commandeered one, and it all worked out first time.
No, you had to do it for a job, right?
I thought maybe I wanted to be an airline pilot there for a bit.
And you actually went through and you still fly?
I haven't flown for a while, but I have.
No, thank you on the flight.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But have you ever flown alone?
Yeah.
Is it exciting or scary?
It's definitely both. Yeah. There was a weird kind of stress that it's like, okay, this is your life here. You need to be thinking about everything. So it's not quite as you sort of picture it being this joyride.
Yeah.
But it's more like I'm looking, where can I set this thing down if my engine turns off?
It sounds like when you first did it, your goal was, hey, maybe I can do this while I'm reading or having a snack. And then you realized it's. But were you able to learn by instrument? Can you fly by instruments?
I'm not certified for that, but I do know how.
Okay.
They make you, as part of getting just a regular private license, they make you spend a certain amount of time, what they call under the hood, where you can't see out the window. All you can see is the instruments.
Oh, man.
So it's to simulate flying into a cloud or what.
Is this just to get any license, right?
You have to get any license. You have to do that. That was tough because, you have no sense of what you're doing at all. And so you're just looking at those instruments. And so you have to go, okay, I'm turning to the right a little bit, got to go left. Oh, now I'm going a little too fast, got to slow down. Oh, now I'm climbing a little bit, I got to settle back down. It's like you're just it's this cycle of if you watch the plane, it would be like sort of,
Can the instruments sense other objects?
Absolutely not.
They can't?
No.
So how do you know you're going to fly into the cloud and there'll be a plane in there with you?
You're using the radio. You have to just announce
you have to know
what
where
you're
you
doing.
are, right?
You have
at
to know
all times?
At all times. And you have to announce your position to everyone. So in any one area, there's a frequency that you have to get on. And
how often do you have to do that?
Welcome back to Airport HQ.
And then I hope this ends up with you meeting John Travolta.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's the best. That was my instructor. Then he kicked me out of the group when I wouldn't become a Scientologist.
Well, I have some brochures for you. I am from the new Scientology. This is not your father's Scientology. It's all new now. I've tightened up some of the mumbo jumbo.
Okay, as the technical
made
term.
It simpler. Made the nonsense easier to read.
I am pretty envious that he just has doesn't he have an airport next to his house and he lands like the 737 every day?
I know, that is pretty amazing. I'd like to have a helipad on top of my house.
Mm. Yeah, you live in LA, right?
Yeah, so a helipad.
Helipad would be
hella good. If I could do a job, you know what my dream job would be?
Tell me.
One of those traffic copter 7s. Where here's Andy Kindler in Jet Copter 7. And I'm using it to fly. So I do that while I'm flying to my luxurious mountaintop retreat.
Mm-hmm. They're like, Andy, we're looking for the 405. I don't know what you're doing out there in the hills.
No. It's got to be on my hours. It's like I'm like it'll become a phenomenon. You got to get that guy who's very rarely on.
But he's so charming.
Yeah. I give you follow-up numbers. I give you, look, I'm not going to be here for the rest of the day, but check these guys out.
Here, what you do is you fly where you want to go, and then you just Google what everyone else is saying about the traffic.
Exactly.
Then you get that good ambient noise. You're coming from a helicopter. They trust you. And you're just reading the weather report from the next guy.
Well, I didn't time my first crew right at that time. The problem is that I get motion sickness easily. And I have a lot of I'm obsessive compulsive and things like that, and so sometimes I worry about everything. And the only reason why flying doesn't bother one of the reasons why flying doesn't bother me is not my fault. I'm worried about being blamed. Like for example, every time you fly, the plane would crash unless you at your assigned time pressed a button. I wouldn't be able to fly. I'm afraid of getting.
You're afraid of the black box.
Just getting in
what
trouble.
its findings will be.
Yeah, they'll be panicking. I tell you that.
They'll be like, there was commotion.
I should have listened. I should have watched that online course.
We found fresh fruit jammed in the rudder.
Fresh fruit and a note, and not a suicide note, or a death note to self.
Absolutely not. It was note to self. Once fruit's done, start landing procedure, and you got caught up with the fruit.
Is a Cessna like a cool plane or a little old kind of plane?
It's an old, not that cool kind of plane.
So it's not even a private. It's like not even. I mean, people wouldn't fly it far for private plane.
I wish you wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I know what I did there. I know exactly what I did. I apologize.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
It was very prestigious. If you don't.
What dissuaded you from going that route? Being a commercial airline person.
You don't make any money for a really long time. The school that I went to was kind of a joke. It turns out that it didn't go very well with them. And long story short,
you went to a discount flight school.
Kind of, yeah. That could be part of a joke.
Yeah,
yeah. Why would you go to a discount flight school?
Right.
Literally, the plane broke down a couple times. Luckily, it was not in the air. But it's the kind of thing where we got to rehaul the whole engine. Yeah,
if it happened in the air, it wouldn't have been good.
No, those things. You know what they have now though? They have parachutes for Cessnas, like small airplanes.
Is that true?
That pop out the top of the plane, and then you just drift down. They have that. I have seen it.
Wow,
it's pretty amazing because those things are just. They're death traps when things go wrong. You don't hear about that many crashes where they walk out of there. There's no.
Are you you're not sponsored by Cessna though, right?
I'm sponsored by the X2000 parachutes that were put on all planes across the country. Yeah.
Now they used to do the fighter pilots would do that though, right? Eject.
Oh sure, I've seen Top Gun.
But
it can be treacherous.
It can be treacherous, right?
Yeah. Do you want to know something?
Bring warm clothing.
Bring warm clothing.
Yeah.
Bring the cyanide in case you drift into enemy territory.
Bring the funk. Bring the noise.
You want to know something interesting though? I read about this in World War I. The Germans and the Allies had parachutes that would work, but the British and the Americans thought that it wasn't. It would make you not be as cunning in your flying, that you'd be scared and you would bail out when you shouldn't, so they didn't give them to the pilots, even though they had them.
So they all died?
Yeah.
In World War I and II?
Not in II. They had real parachutes. Then they, in between...
Hey, you know what? Let's,
maybe we should think about it.
Oh, my God.
Maybe you already knew that.
That would stop me from enlisting in World War I.
I don't know if you had much of a choice, really.
Oh, did they have the draft then?
I don't know.
I don't know about... I think I know about history, and then I come to a topic I know nothing about, and I say to myself,
it seems like...
Who am I kidding?
It seems like they would have had to have had it, right? Who would volunteer for trench warfare, right? You going to go do that?
I think you're right. They must have had the draft in World War I and II, and yeah.
I know they didn't too.
I signed up for the trench warfare. That sounded good to me. Because I don't like the idea that you're making progress and you're running around. Let me relax in my trench. I'll make it. The thing that's great about it, you can make it your own because you're there for 3-4 years. Install maybe a hardwood floors you put in.
We could get some posters up.
Yeah, make it comfortable. I would have made a deal with the enemy not to shoot.
Rick, will you take your shoes off in the trench? This is my space. You're getting it filthy in here.
I would have been very fastidious.
Really up on chores.
Why is there dirt all over the place here?
The dishes have been sitting there for 2 weeks.
Have you ever been in the trench? Like the ones from the World War I?
Never.
I'd like to see what they look like.
I would go to Flanders. Check that out.
Sometimes I would take a nap in a trench.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I would do.
Just to really feel like channel the vibes.
I would put like a mattress that's over the trench. See if that works good.
Well, that'd be like they did with the tanks, trying to drive long enough, or you could just jump them completely.
What they used to do?
Like those big. They started making these huge tanks that could go right over the top of the trenches because they were
Oh.
so long.
Oh, so then all of a sudden,
Bam.
sorry, trench.
Whoops, forgot about
Didn't work.
you. Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't see as much trenches today.
You don't see as many of them now.
Right.
I wanted to talk about Marin a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So, third season of Marin, is that getting going? Is that right?
Yes, it's good. I think it's May 14th, but don't quote me on anything.
Well, too late.
Okay.
And, like, how many episodes are you on in there? Are you on?
I'm on 3 of the new season.
Cool.
I like to call myself the linchpin of the show.
Absolutely.
But it's not accurate, so I stopped. A lawsuit came in and said, stop calling yourself the linchpin. I said, how about I'm the go-to recurring character?
They said that. Keep going.
No.
Come up with something else. I'm
a guy they use, but don't get too comfortable. That they would do.
Ringer?
No, a ringer would be someone who does well.
Does Mark Maron feel like it's just a direct competitor with Louis? I mean, or are they like?
Well, I know they're good friends, but I think the shows are so different.
Yeah.
Because Louis is more surreal.
Yeah. Have you been on Louis?
No, I have not been on Louis. I make fun of Louis a lot.
Really? You don't want to be on Louis?
No, I'd love to be on Louis. Are you kidding me? In fact, let's make this podcast
Us
on
both.
Louis to be on Louis. But I make fun of him, and then all of a sudden, he's not offering me work.
What's funny about Louis?
What are you trying to set me up?
Come on.
What's funny about him? No. He's a very funny guy. It's just his show is very surreal, and it's very like I like the thing I enjoy about Marin is that he plays it very close to his actual life.
Yeah.
So I think shows have a tendency to go so far out of reality that it's going to be that they don't keep your attention. And he does a great job of it's very real to me when I watch it. Plus, I'm a fan of my acting.
Your own. Yeah. Well, if you weren't a fan of your own, then what would you be doing?
Well, mostly I'm not a fan. Well, yeah, I would be worrying a lot.
Yeah. You didn't finish your pineapple. Are you not a pineapple guy?
Well, the problem is I thought I would be too loud, and this seems very hard. I'll try it.
All right.
I think the people at home have gotten used to me eating.
The guys are right there. I don't want them to be offended. That's all.
Mmm. Can I have a little salt in my pineapple?
It's so funny that you would bring that up because I have some. I was surprised to see that Wizards of Waverly Place is on your resume.
Because are you kidding me? That's my demographic.
Do you?
The people who crazy about me are 10 to 14.
Yeah.
8 to 12.
Probably 7 to
12,
13.
14, 15.
Yeah.
And 55 to 80. Those are my two target audiences.
Well, that's what they say is the prime. That's what you have to get.
They say avoid the
18
demographic that everybody else is getting.
Yeah, that's...
Because it's oversold.
You don't want to be a chump, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you just like... Do you have that X-ray vision where you're just kind of like, that actor there is going to be in rehab in 3 years?
Yes, they call me the Kreskin of comics.
Because that seems like a real problem there, right? It's like, it's just like it's a pipeline. They say the school to prison pipeline.
Yes.
It might be Disney to rehab pipeline.
I think when you get, let's say you get successful, or even just the stress of trying to have a career in comedy, whatever, that we all do enjoy altering most of us enjoy altering our reality, so you can see how people would go too far with it.
And you're like 17 and getting lots of money now.
Yeah, so I think it's I don't know how high percentage-wise it is, but it's not it's not surprising that this happens.
Yeah. Do you feel like? I mean, you've been in the business a long time.
Right.
Is it just as wild and crazy now as it was, in the 80s?
No,
70s?
because there was that time period in the late 70s through the 80s that was when cocaine got involved in things, and people, I think...
You're pushing that on me again?
I actually... I would recommend you don't do it.
So it was crazier then.
Well, you could pick up the energy a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That'd be good. We'd like to see you...
Maybe a little... Okay.
I mean, I'm just kidding.
Keep it under control.
I know you well enough that I can make fun of your energy level.
We were like fast friends.
What I think you should do is play just your part back at a faster speed.
Okay.
And it'll make you sound like, hey! It'll make you sound a higher register, which makes people feel like you're earnest.
That's probably scientifically proven.
It is. Everything I've said, I can back up with something.
With something. I'll take any suggestions. I'm at that point. I would.
I would take...
Well, I wasn't saying.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry.
right.
I thought you're not phoning a friend? How's
no.
that for an old reference?
That was so... For some reason, that just reminded me of the time that guy, when he won the $1 million and he used his phone a friend to call his parents and tell them he won $1 million.
Oh.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, because he didn't need it anymore.
He didn't need it.
I would love... I haven't had one thing in my life that's gone like that.
That is pretty smooth.
That's
pretty cool.
than you need to be.
You ever done like one of the celebrity? You ever done like a celebrity game show? Don't they do that kind of stuff?
I can't talk about it. I have a lot of things in the works. I have Celebrity Scrabble is coming up. I have Celebrity Stratego.
Are you good at Scrabble and Stratego?
I am no.
All right.
I'm not bad at these things. Well, Stratego, I don't think.
I don't even know what that is. Is that still?
It's a weird board game.
I want the hard hitting board games.
You mean like Grand Theft Auto, the board game?
That could be good.
I'm working on it.
All right.
A lot of people, the feedback on video games is they like the action, they love the colors, they love the pixels, but they can't. They want it instead. They can't stand the excitement.
I know that's a common complaint I've heard. It's too exciting.
Yeah, make it into a board game.
Make it to a board game. That's right. Have you ever been to Bridgetown before?
I've been to Portland before, but that was my first time at Bridgetown. Very excited about it.
Yeah.
It's got that real festival summer camp feeling to it. And I love Portland, so normally I trash every town I'm in and harbor a lot of...
Portland's no exception, or it is?
No, Portland's, I love it.
Yeah.
Portland's got great coffee. I'm in.
It's got great fruit. So if you didn't have to live in LA for work, would you come right up to Portland?
I would, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also like Seattle a lot.
Mm-hmm. Pretty similar towns.
I like, there's definite differences in the topography, if that's a word.
I think it is.
More trees here.
No one's fact checking
tree.
us.
What am I saying? This tree's in Seattle?
Yeah.
Someone should stop me from giving any opinion. It seems more mountainous here. No, Andy, it's not because you have...
You ever heard of Rainier? Huh?
Yeah, where is that near?
That's right there by Seattle.
But what's the one that blew? St. Helens? That was in Alaska.
Absolutely not.
Where was it?
It was in Washington.
I remember what happened. Now I remember what happened. I got stuck up in Alaska because I couldn't fly back through one of the eruptions.
No way, really?
Yeah.
So
where were you during the eruption? And I know that's a very personal question.
I was wherever my mom was.
You were very young at the time.
I was -5 or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was actually just telling me about that just a few days ago, actually, just about how crazy that was, because he was fairly close to it when it blew, and it was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Just ash. They got ash in Ellensburg, long, I don't know, a couple hundred miles away.
Man.
They're getting ash. It's pretty wild. Anyway, we don't need to do a volcano thing, but it's a great hike. I've heard that's a great hike to go check out.
You've done it or you haven't?
I haven't done it, but I've heard you could hike around the rim of St. Helens and you're looking into the bowl there.
That must be cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I'd like someone to make one of those, what are they, IMAX movie out of it, and then save me the traveling over there.
Just to let you lean back in that chair.
We go, I
maybe 3D.
see it.
You have any movie acting plan coming up? Anything?
I always have a movie acting plan. I just don't get any movie acting.
I guess you and me both.
Well, you're young. You still have your whole life ahead of me. I have part of my life ahead of me.
Enough for some more films, though.
I can't. A lot of people in the Andy Kindler fan club, and
you have a fan club. For
no,
God's sakes,
no,
you must.
But I do have a lot of hangers-on and sycophants.
Mm-hmm. So you have a big entourage.
I do, and I'm excited about Entourage the movie.
I am too. Can I admit that I like Entourage here?
You can, but you will eventually be mocked by me.
Good.
You can
Please,
bet.
mock
You can
me.
bet if I say I'm looking forward to something, the
That's
zinger,
not actually
the zinger
true.
is right around the corner.
I just keep falling for all your tricks.
Well, I'm very emotionally invested in Turtle, so I really hope things work out. I can see why you watch it because it always makes you think something more exciting is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, exciting things were happening.
That's true.
Although, okay, for Turtle, like it seems like guys that are kind of bigger dudes. You talk about the Seth Rogans and the Jonah Hills. They lose the weight, and I don't know what it is. They don't have their charm anymore. I don't know if I don't like Turtle anymore.
You don't like Turtle at a thin Turtle.
I'm fine. I'm glad. I'm happy for him, but
Right.
I like that sort of.
Well, we're very much
Chubby,
of a society obsessed on weight.
Yeah.
And everybody's got to weigh a certain amount. And sometimes people are meant to weigh more, and they look more whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know nothing about medical practices or
Don't
much
sell
else.
yourself short.
Please don't ever call me short again. I'm very sensitive about it.
That was a mistake. I really apologize.
No, that was me getting as if I was acting like someone getting upset.
It was working. I thought you were going to get up and leave. Yeah.
Cool.
But that's like Horatio Sands. You know, maybe he should have been a little bit heavier. You know, and then he lost all the weight.
This is either a thesis, a dissertation for your thesis, or a thesis for your dissertation. But either way,
One of the two.
This is going to be the thing that sets you apart from everybody else and makes people enraged at you. Have you heard this guy talking about weight, how heavy celebrities are? And you go on for hours about John Goodman. I see a lot of possibilities.
I love John Goodman. I would never say an ill word.
Neither would I. You're the one who has the celebrities look better, fatter bit.
It kills most of the time, Andy.
Well,
just so we're clear.
I'm no.
Obesity is what I mean.
Exactly.
You have a lot of shows for Bridgetown, right? You're doing Jonathan Katz.
I did Jonathan Katz already. Tonight I'm doing the particular show at 8 o'clock and a show called High Five at 11 o'clock. And then
Busy.
Saturday, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing a show called where you don't get to see the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to Ian. 7 Minutes of Purgatory.
Yes.
So you're going to do some stand-up.
It was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're not nervous about that?
No.
Doing stand-up for nobody?
Nothing scares me except most things.
Just so we're clear, it's a stand-up show where the comedians are in another room and the audience is just watching their live feed, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I didn't think it's so great. I didn't think it'd be so much. I had no idea what to expect of it, but it's a perfect format.
Did you go back and watch it?
No, I just did it in L.A. Oh no, I didn't go back and watch it. No, because I'm very busy worrying about things.
So you weren't curious how the crowd was reacting to your stuff?
I am always curious, but it's like I have so many things I'm supposed to be looking at.
Yeah.
That don't include myself.
So you just want to leave it like that?
No, I'll see it.
Yeah. I would be nervous to watch that, but that would be interesting to know.
Yeah, it would be.
If you're
it felt good when I was doing it. So,
is that the kind of thing where it would be equally as fun for you to be trying out new stuff as old bits, where you already kind of feel out those beats? You know what I mean?
Do you mean would I change it on the basis of hearing it?
No, I mean it's okay. It seems like if you had some established bit you've done a million times, it'd be easier to walk through that and sort of feel what the audience is going to be doing a little bit.
Well, I think a lot of people would say, Andy, you don't have a bit that goes. That's a set bit.
Well, I like to be nice to the guests. I don't want to deflate the ego. Oh, I want to do the opposite.
Yeah, you want to inflate.
I want to inflate. I want you feeling awesome when you get out of here. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch that. I'm gonna go check out that show. I have a couple other friends that are gonna be doing that.
This is gonna be a great weekend. And, what I say to people: climb aboard the festival train.
Yeah.
And try to keep your hands inside the ride.
Portland just gets so excited for this. I love it. It's got a cool vibe for that because it's just Portland. The community's great, but I think it's just small enough that it's
it's a perfect festival. It's a perfect event for this city.
I did driving for it last year. I drove around a bunch of comics around.
Oh, that was cool, huh?
You get a couple people in there and you have to meet some new people.
I get nervous driving myself around.
You know what? I dented my car recently, so I shouldn't. In a parking garage, by the way.
Whoa!
Talk about deflating your ego.
I knocked over one of those cement. What the heck?
Like a barricade.
Yeah.
Barrier.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
People mocked me. They gave me a ticket and were mocking me.
It said right on the ticket. Wow. Yeah.
What an idiot! It said.
What an idiot. I also saw someone rear end someone yesterday, so I actually feel okay because everyone gets in accidents.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
You got your fill.
Yeah, I got my fill. I've heard that Portland is actually one of the worst cities for drivers in the country. It's like we average an accident every 2 years here, and the country average is like an accident every 5. So we're not so good.
Come on, Portland, pick it up. Keep your eyes on the road.
We can hit one.
Why don't you go back at 10-2?
That's right.
Do it by the book.
What do you guys? Yeah, we're on 1 at 6 is what we're doing.
Exactly.
That's not the right way to do it. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me. Yeah.
It was really fun, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed needling you, and I enjoyed the fruit conversation, and I think we've all learned a lot from this. I'm just trying to pump it up. But thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And I love Bob's Burgers so much. I look forward to it all the time. So it's cool to meet you because I love all you guys at Bob's Burgers.
You're a very emotional man and men.
I shouldn't be crying right now. That would be. I don't know. This is weird.
It would be good.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of the festival too.
I know it's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yep.